Okay, let's go.
Shine, sun, shine,
Yeah.
sun, shine,
All right.
sun, shine, sun, shine, sun. She's a goddess with a body that's like a bow.
You don't say.
She's crowned with a halo of silky shiny gold. So shine, so shine. The mountains are the most Twin Peaks. Yes,
Whoa, Billy.
she towers over all as we are at her feet. So shine, so shine, so shine.
Where was she when I was young?
Well, as the title suggests, I'm going to draw Wonder Woman. After I was reading some articles that a brief little snippet from Creature Commandos seems to indicate how Wonder Woman might look in the new DCU. And of course, it's a prediction of a potential future, a doomsday future, a nightmare scene. Yes, very similar to what the Snyder films were suggesting. But albeit probably a different villain. I don't know. It doesn't matter. If the Creature Commandos are successful, then I suppose this dark future will never happen, something of that nature. But anyway, Superman shows up in this scene, seemingly dead. I'm not sure, and what's Peacemaker also there, and then looks like Starfire is there as well. I guess Mr. Terrific, but also Wonder Woman. And well, what's interesting is this the look that they seem to want to go for their new Wonder Woman, and it looks more akin to the classic outfit that she has worn. And so perhaps, and the Superman and Peacemaker look like Superman and Peacemaker as they have him. We've seen their new Superman, and of course, Peacemaker was in his own show and Suicide Squad and all that. Batman, we're not certain. They haven't cast Batman and haven't cast Wonder Woman either, for that matter, unless they have, and we just don't know it. But nevertheless, the outfit, what will it look like? You know, and just from those images, well, it appears a more return to the or more classic look of Wonder Woman, or perhaps not. I mean, the Superman outfit that they've got for David Cornsweet seems to be a mix of the New 52 version costume they had and then abandoned with the Kingdom Come design of the S Shield on top of that. And then, you know, the red trunks, which the New 52 version didn't have red trunks. So it's like a combination of those. Whereas we don't know if Wonder Woman, if they did the same thing. And looking at it, I'm not entirely certain. You know, it's not a good look of what it looks like and all that. But it may, perhaps there'll be a similar approach in that she will have a combination of her New 52 outfit with the more a classic one that that she always had for the most part. And the New 52 one was interesting in that the gold aspects of her suit are taken away and replaced with silver, which, considering her outfit was always evoking the red, white, and blue, the stars on her panties. And there was some elements of white in the scheme, well, the stars, obviously. Sometimes the belt was white. There were some of these white stripes in her boots, stuff like that. And but with the gold, it was putting the yellow color in there. And so with the silver, it evoked more of that, in that it was silver, but it still had more of a color that was closer to the American flag aspect. And even though she wasn't an American, but, well, she was originally a World War II character. And so that was tossed in there. I suppose they could have always come up with some explanation as to why the American flag would be in this woman from this lost island of Amazons. But and maybe they did, like, oh, she was trying to appeal to America to fight the Axis and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, and because of Steve Trevor. But that was pretty much the deal. And so the silver colors kind of worked with it. And so maybe it'll be a combination of the two, like her boots won't be blue, but they'd still be red or something like that. But the rest of it would look very much like, well, damn it, I think I should have done this the other way around. Yeah, I still could. Because I'm going to have the rope just on her belt. But, yeah. Oh, the struggle for art. But, and even the Superman outfit from New 52, it depended on who drew it as to whether it was any good or not. When Jim Lee drew it, looked all right since he designed it. I suppose maybe that's why. I don't know. Other people, it just looked really bulky, and and eventually you knew that the old design was going to come back. I mean, that's too many decades of a certain look. I don't think you can deviate too much from it. As for Wonder Woman, I actually did like the new design, but of course, there again, more of the look. When they had the movie and Gal Gadot and all that, some aspects of that make sense. It had more of that sort of Greek warrior type design to it, which you would expect to have some of that in there. But then again, there was always a story about it's been a couple of thousand years, I mean, they're still frozen in that time, or what, because a lot of the different versions and iterations of the island and all that it was way more advanced, and a lot had happened since then, stuff like that, which I would have thought would be the better route. But I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of who's in charge of it and all that. But there we go. But just the influences on the outfit would reflect it to some extent. And of course, she had her tiara and all that. So, don't know. which route they'll go with. But at some point in the 90s, John Byrne took over the suit and he simplified it with just like 2 stars on the star pennies. And I'm not sure, it's a very brief, slight image from the cartoon of Creature Commandos, so I don't know, but it kind of looks like maybe they'll have that where there's just like a star here, and then there'd be one here. But I got her hand in the way. Um, so I don't know if the boots should go all the way up to the knees. But that's more of what the boots look like. Now, so I mean, I have to assume that it'll be a combination of something akin to what they did with Superman, since they did that with Superman. So it might be the same approach for Wonder Woman's look as well. And then I assume perhaps Batman, that his suit would have some of those elements. I don't know. That means it'll look like the New 52 Batman. But with Batman, it really just looked odd when they took his black panties away. It's just and it scars all the years of that look, and then suddenly it's gone. It's like it's almost like he's naked. But oddly enough, with Superman, maybe it just, I don't know, all the elements to it to make it look like this armored suit, which of course, why does Superman need armor? He doesn't. But it was supposed to be this like traditional Krypton outfit thing that he finds on Brainiac's ship. I think that's how they did it. And so, oh, well, all right, that's just how it was designed. And which is another thing I appreciated to some extent, that, well, why does Superman wear that outfit? And it says, well, that's the way people on Krypton dressed. They just wore stuff like that. And it doesn't really explain the other superheroes other than, well, Superman dresses like that, so we got to too, or something. You really don't, but all right. It's so, but with just the design of it, it wasn't as jarring when his took away his red panties. Um, so who knows? I'm just jotting this down. Uh, and of course, again, if the Superman movie bombs, none of this matters because there won't be any DCU Wonder Woman or movie. There'll be a Batman, but I don't know if I mean, they got the Robert Pattinson Batman thing, I assume. Uh, but as far as the other characters, probably a long while before they bother with them, because all that's going to do is tell them, well, this gravy train's over. We got to look for something else. It's nothing personal. It's business, you see. Yes. Yes. But that first Wonder Woman movie they did with Gal Gadot, that's going to be a tough one to beat. And they could do any number of things. Since they're going to do this series about her Paradise Island and their story, I don't know. I guess being uh, sent there by Zeus and all that sort of thing, maybe they'll do that to be protected from man's world, because man is so dangerous, and all that stuff. And then they said they want to do a Game of Thrones take on those characters. Well, good luck with that. Um, oh yeah, she had some kind of like like choker in that, I forget, but it, like it, it's like, oh, maybe there'll be a combination of the different character versions of the Wonder Woman outfit. So that's about it. That's the reason. Decided to just I'll draw Wonder Woman, and of course the only one to have a accurate, at least comic book accurate at the time, Wonder Woman outfit was Linda Carter. She was running around in her satin tights, fighting for our rights. Wonder Woman, dun, 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 dun. And then there was a TV movie predating that with Kathy Lee Crosby as Wonder Woman. And she didn't look like Wonder Woman at all. They didn't dye her hair brunette or anything. And she had this red, white, and blue mini skirt outfit. It was strange. There was a brief test pilot done by William Dozier, who did the Batman show, and they were going to do a Wonder Woman show, and I guess the executives were passed on it. It's it may still be on YouTube. I mean, if you look for it, but it was very odd, in that there would be two actresses playing the character. So Diana Prince would be one woman, and then when she became Wonder Woman, she was this other woman who was, I mean, it's almost like Shazam or something, except they're both adults. But it's like, I suppose the Wonder Woman was to be prettier than the Diana Prince one, even though, it's not like she wasn't unattractive or anything. But it was an odd take, and I don't really see the reason for it. And she lived with her mother, who was just some old lady. It's not, Queen Hippolyta of the Amazons. So I don't know where that was going to go. It was a short test thing, not really a full on pilot, and they passed on that. But it had the guy who was doing the narration, like from the Batman show. What's this? Princess, Diana Prince is secretly Wonder Woman, that kind of thing. I believe the woman who played Wonder Woman, who, not the Diana Prince character, was the actress who played Nova in Planet of the Apes. And she was the girl that Charlton Heston was locked up with, which was the best part of the whole ordeal he had to put up with, was that gorgeous cutie who really couldn't say a word, And he was like, well, it's not all bad. And except later on, the whole planet got destroyed in the second movie by a super duper pooper scooper, just, I don't know, neutron bomb or whatever the hell it was supposed to be. And he didn't get enough time to enjoy sweet Nova. Yes. Damn you! You blew it up right when I was getting laid. And poor Taylor, why? But anyway, she would have been running around in star panties in a Wonder Woman show had it been greenlit, But a strange take on it. I don't know. I'm sure there was. In fact, I know there were some liberties with the Batman show, but for the most part, that was pretty much Batman, albeit rather silly. But then when you think about it, it is silly. And at the time, certainly a lot of silliness with it, rather than the original sort of Pulp Fiction based character uh, that Batman was. Yeah, they got worried about uh, crime stories were not proper stories for children. Even though he was like pointing out, hey, crime's bad. That's why it's called crime. But he would dole out some pretty severe punishment and even killed a few guys. So it's like, hey, look, they had it coming. Um, let's see here. So um, they did. It was a TV movie with Kathy Lee Crosby, and then it wasn't long after that when they did the Linda Carter uh, show. So hey, maybe we should do a Wonder Woman show with someone who kind of looks like her and wears an outfit like she does, and just you know do the Wonder Woman story. Oh yeah, so that's what they did. So the whole thing, the first season, she's in the World War II days. Steve Trevor crashes on the island. She's like, wow, a man. And so uh, she competes with the other Amazons to leave the island and go into man's world and help fight off the threat of the nasties and Axis power and all that. And that's what she did. So then the second season, I can't remember if they did a thing where she did go back to Paradise Island, but decided, hey, I need to go back and help out. I don't know. I guess the communists or something. I can't remember. Um, and so, hey, look, it's young Steve Trevor. Oh, but it's not Steve Trevor. It's some descendant of his. So she's like, oh well, he looks like my old boyfriend, so he'll do. um, so I don't know. I guess the original Steve Trevor. I don't know if he was supposed to be. I don't think they said he was his son or he was just in the family like a distant cousin or obviously not that distant. Played by Lyle Wagner, from the Carol Burnett show. Which story goes is that he wanted to leave the Carol Burnett show to pursue serious acting and ended up in the Wonder Woman show, which is interesting because before Adam West got the Batman part, Lyle Wagner was the runner-up. I mean, there's there again, probably on YouTube somewhere, test screenings of him because they had already got Burt Ward to be Robin. And so I think Lyle Wagner is doing scenes in the Batman outfit with Burt Ward, to see how he does. And he does all right, but it's kind of like a more serious take on the character, whereas they wanted that campy feel to it. And he was a bit more of your leading man, which uh, appearance wise, Adam West, had the square jaw and all that stuff. Um, but he just had that that bullshit approach to it that was just hilarious. And they got the idea from it. He had done a commercial where he was playing this sort of James Bond like character, but it was in that delivery of Adam West. I think You stole those plans, and that's treason. Something of that. I can't remember how the ad went. And just that kind of funny delivery that he did. They thought, hey, he's our Batman, you know. So, of course, he did the test as well with Burt Ward, and he beat out Lyle Wagner for that. So then he ends up going to the Carol Burnett show eventually and then decided, this just isn't what I want to do. Just a bunch of silly sketches that everyone enjoys and laughs at because they're really funny and all that stuff. I want to be a serious actor. And, well, ended up being Wonder Woman's boyfriend, which, you know, there's worse things. But I don't know if that's exactly what he had in mind, wanting to be a serious actor. I don't know. Maybe he was in some drama somewhere. You know, if it's what he wanted, so you can hope he got something. I don't know. Did he ever do Columbo? I can't remember. Maybe you could be, you know, the bad guy in that. You could, well, I was pissed off and I killed somebody. Well, sir, that's against the law. Oh, is it? Oh. And so then he's carted off to prison. And so that's one of those weird connections, you know. Wonder Woman's boyfriend was almost Batman. Of course, later on, especially in the Nandas Justice League series, it's pretty obvious that they were setting up Wonder Woman and Batman to have a thing. Seemed to be suggesting it in the Snyder movies too. I assume, I don't know. But thing about that though is, I always thought that, you know, Wonder Woman and Superman made a better pair, especially since, you know, how the hell is Superman and Superman and Lois getting it on, you know? Because, she's going to end up in a wheelchair if she lives through it, you know? Her whole pelvic bones will just be crushed. It's not like he means to do it, but how do you hold that back, you know? So, unless he had like a red sun lamp or something that takes his powers away. But then she's kind of like, it's not what I thought it would be. Yeah. She ends up, I don't know, marrying Jimmy Olsen. But with Wonder Woman, well, she can take it because she's a wonder, you know. Oh, I've got chats. Boy, there's almost nobody here at all. Oh, well. Hey, Thompson, here he is, the one, the only Doug Nailsin. Hey, Thompson says Skull. Hey, Thompson, Doug, have you seen the movie Heretic? No. We watched it in the van today. Worth watching. Is that the Exorcist prequel or whatever? Hey, Thompson, LOL, is it late or early? Well, I put the early, that's what title on there, but it's pretty late for me. Hey, Thompson, camera, video, it's up there, isn't it? I can see it. Yeah, it's on there. Yeah, you're screwing with me. Hey, Thompson, Venom: The Last Dance was turned off 20 minutes into the movie. Well, that's pretty much, I'd forgotten it even come out. And then that's it for Sony's little Spider-Man movies with no Spider-Man. They're going to dump that Craven movie and just take the checks from the Spider-Man movies with, Disney. And that's probably for the better because you just can't do Spider-Man movies with no Spider-Man. I know. Who'd have thunk it? It's kind of like doing Batman shows and well, mostly the shows with no Batman. They tried doing a Catwoman movie with no Batman. That didn't work. They were going to do that again. I think they were going to try to spin off. They wanted to spin off the Catwoman from the Nolan films, and it just quickly said, nah. So, yeah. Now, the shared universe type thing, I suppose some of those characters could get their own. I mean, obviously, right off the bat with the Superman film, they're going to do a Supergirl movie pretty quick. It's been greenlit, so I guess that's the way. You do it. But more times than not, if you don't have the main character in it, no one cares. Because the whole time is, where's Batman? And as good as the Penguin show was, which it was very good, it still is like, where the hell is he? I mean, couldn't there have been something, not just his bat signal at the end of the series? I mean, that's all that stuff that happened when they were blowing stuff up and everything, and Batman is just, I don't know, his back was out, I guess. I don't feel like it today. Maybe next week. I don't know. And I suppose they could have had some like news article saying that Bruce Wayne was overseas or something. I don't know. But I don't know if it was, I don't guess it was Reeves or someone, whoever was working on the show. So they did write a scene where the Victor character runs into Bruce Wayne. But I don't know, they thought that was a little, what are the odds, But still, with that amount of stuff going on and Batman never shows up to look into it, it seems highly unlikely. Especially since the Penguin had that underground lair. I mean, he was probably right next door to the Batcave. What are you doing here? Oh, hey, take it easy. I didn't know you was down here. But whatevs. But that's one of those rare occurrences. And then, the Joker movie, the first one, obviously the second one was crap. So, yeah, it's feasible, but it's usually quite the loser. And the character, I mean, the Venom movie is the only one that was somewhat successful. Then the second one pooped the bed, and I think that killed any interest in it. And they probably don't really have any other ideas. And originally it was all the Venom character owed everything to Spider-Man, and they tried to make him an anti-hero in the comics and stuff later on, but his origin, his background owes everything to Spider-Man having, or the original host of the symbiote and all that sort of thing. Yeah, I think that's it for Sony's. I mean, they're going to do their Miles Morales cartoons with Spider-Verse, which I still haven't seen any of those. They're going to do this Amazon Prime series with Nicolas Cage and the Spider-Man Noir version, which is this, another alternate universe version of Spider-Man and all that. So that's what they'll do. So they'll still have some, coin off of the property. But your best bet is to license those, which they've done with Prime. Of course, Sony doesn't have a streaming service, which they were rather wise not to jump into that nonsense. Nodak123 says, hit the like button. That's right. Listen to Nodak. Hit that like button. Again, it's okay. The button is like that. It likes being hit. Hey, Thompson, check the time of the message. The message? Venom, The Last Dance was turned off 20 minutes into the movie. The time was 24 minutes ago. You mean you just did? I don't know. Anyway, he tells me, yeah, Marvel sucks now. No more. Well, that's Marvel, which is a separate entity. So they're going to keep trying to go, but yeah. Hey, Thompson, Marvel jumped the shark. Yeah. Well, that's the kind of dumb thing they would do. They would actually have, I don't know, Spider-Man jump a shark, because they see it's meta. Anyway, hey, Thompson, the latest Spider-Mans were weird anime. I don't know the nomenclature for that. That was the Spider-Verse ones, I think. I mean, I just know the movies. I guess there's a cartoon series as well. I don't know. I didn't see it. So there's a lot of anime influence. There is this Superman anime thing they did. It's not really for me, but I watched some of it and I'm like, well, I don't hate it, but yeah. All right. I guess I need to put this into, what do you call it? Oh yeah, Photoshop and put some color to our amazing Amazon. Hey, Thompson. Oh, I guess the newest Spider-Mans are okay. I didn't turn them off. That is all I will say. Venom was turned off. Okay. Heretic was not turned off. So you watched the whole thing. All right. So let me see. I think I have Bayou Crime Report in here. Yeah, I do. Now, these are really old. It was, I think these are some of the first Bayou Crime Reports I did. Before I started using the my imaginary co-host Red Neckerton as the host. Instead, it's just the cartoon me. Yeah. So anyway, play a couple of those while I set up the Photoshop, while my scanner scan this in, and then we'll put some color to Wonder Woman. Woman shot while allegedly storming ex-boyfriend's home pleads not guilty to attempted murder. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. A Gretna woman who was shot twice when authorities say she tried to kick in the door of her former boyfriend's Mario home has pleaded not guilty to attempted second-degree murder. The Jefferson Parish District Attorney's Office formally charged Robin Ventress, 34, with trying to kill her ex-boyfriend and his wife because she allegedly returned fire after being wounded. Ventress was also charged with attempted home invasion and illegal possession of a stolen firearm. She pleaded not guilty to all charges. The exchange of gunfire occurred just before 3:15 a.m. at the Lancaster Drive home that Ventress's ex, 44, shares with his 42-year-old wife. The man's wife overheard what sounded like someone trying to burglarize the couple's residence. The woman approached the door and realized the person outside was trying to kick it in. The woman, who was armed with a gun, fired multiple times through the door. The person on the other side, later identified as Ventress, shot back before fleeing. The wife was not injured, but deputies dispatched to the scene found blood on the ground, indicating that the would-be intruder likely had been wounded. Though the couple wasn't sure who tried to break in, they named Ventress as a possible suspect because she had previously threatened them. About 6 hours later, Ventress arrived at the emergency room of a New Orleans hospital with gunshot wounds to her hand and leg. Ventress told New Orleans police she had been injured during an armed robbery on Bullard Avenue in New Orleans East. But her story fell apart during questioning. Deputies recovered the gun Ventress allegedly used in the shooting. It had been reported stolen out of Mississippi. Ventress, who was being held at the Jefferson Parish Correctional Center, pleaded not guilty via video conferencing. Well, let that be a lesson to everyone. Don't just show up at someone's door unannounced. Man fatally beats 69-year-old father with bat. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. Investigators suspect Mike Genorio used a baseball bat to viciously beat his 69-year-old father Carlos to death before leaving the elder Genorio's body inside the blood-spattered Gretna home the two shared. New details about the alleged patricide emerged as Gretna Police Department detectives testified during a probable cause hearing conducted remotely via video conferencing. Mike Genorio, 36, is booked with second-degree murder in his father's killing. He was taken into custody in Jennings, Louisiana, after local police officers stopped him for driving erratically in his father's red Toyota Camry. After Jennings police stopped Genorio, Gretna officers were sent to Carlos Genorio's Clare Avenue home for a disposition check. No one answered the door or answered Carlos's phone. About 2 hours later, Carlos Genorio Jr., Mike Genorio's brother, went to the home and found their father's body in a bedroom. His screams and cries attracted the attention of at least 3 nearby neighbors who entered the house to see what had happened. One neighbor stopped in the kitchen after she spotted blood. Carlos Genorio suffered at least 6 blows to his face that caused fractures. He also had a broken arm and evidence of being beaten on the head and torso. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspected murder weapon? A baseball bat, just a few feet from Carlos Genorio Sr.'s body. This bat had what appeared to be blood all over the handle and the barrel, Detective Labori said. Investigators discovered blood spattered on the floor, walls, and ceiling. Authorities collected swabs for analysis at the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office Crime Lab. The results are not yet available. Gretna police seized and submitted a shirt and a pair of boxer shorts that Mike Genorio was wearing when arrested. The clothing was stained with blood, as were 7 $20 bills that he was carrying. When Gretna police asked about his father's death, Mike Genorio said he and Carlos Genorio Sr. were standing outside the house when 2 men approached, armed with a bat. According to Mike Genorio, the men allegedly forced father and son into the residence, where they attacked Carlos Genorio Sr. with the bat. During this beating, Mike Genorio told detectives Carlos Genorio Sr. asked his attackers to allow him to give his son the keys to his Toyota so that Mike Genorio could leave. Mike Genorio said he got the keys and left his father in the hands of the 2 strangers. Genorio didn't contact authorities about the alleged attack once he escaped the house. At the time of his arrest, Mike Genorio had scratches on his neck and marks on his forehead and nose. The explanation for those injuries changed several times. Mike Genorio told Jennings police officers stuff hit him in the head while he was at home. He told Gretna police the injuries occurred while he was being held in the Jennings jail cell. The story changed again during questioning by Gretna detectives. Mike Genorio said he was hurt while working his groundskeeping job at a local cemetery, but his supervisor contradicted that. telling investigators that Mike Gennaro hadn't suffered any recent on-the-job injuries. Following testimony, Magistrate Commissioner Paul Snyder ruled that there was probable cause to continue holding Mike Gennaro. Bond has been set at $500,000. So, of course, innocent till proven guilty, but, yeah, he did it. Yeah, I didn't really check back with that one, so, but I'm still assuming he did it, you know. A Marvel junked the shark. Heretic was not turned off. A. Thompson Substance was watched twice, and not because I'm a perv. I thought it was good. A. Thompson, I loved those Chris Nolan Batmans. I'll watch those again anytime. A. Thompson, newest Deadpool was also turned off. Oh, really? Well, you missed out on the. But I'm not going to spoil it. All right, here we are with Wonder Woman. Boy, it didn't scan well. I gotta fix up quite a bit here. But well, time is of the essence. All right, gotta give her some eyeliner. Yeah. Jeez. How can you do that to Wonder Woman? All right. So, I don't know who they'll cast as Wonder Woman. She just has to be, you know, a woman. And should be all right. This, that. Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and don't really need that. Might end up using the Photoshop star. Boy, up close, it doesn't look as great. Okay. Wonder Woman. There's that weird, I guess, rapper guy, Tricky, who did this. I mean, it's weird and stuff, but he he sampled the Wonder Woman theme and did his own Wonder Woman song, and gotta admit, it's kind of catchy, All right. I forget who sang the original song. They had this little cameo scene for Linda Carter in the last Wonder Woman movie. The last Wonder Woman movie was terrible. It's just the amazing contrast between how good the first one was and that thing. Well, it just boggles the mind sometimes, But, with the collapse of that endeavor, I guess she won't be having any cameos Well, at least not as that character. Supposed to have been some sort of precursor to Wonder Woman. And that's the deal. Don't know who they're going to cast for the other roles, or Steve Trevor and all that stuff. Or Etta Candy. Yes, that's right. Wonder Woman had a gal pal who was really fat, and her name was Etta Candy because she ate candy. But I mean, it's not her fault. Her parents named her that, so she was doomed to be an overweight sugar addict because that's how mommy and daddy raised her. See, you can always blame mommy and daddy. That was another character, like in the comics. They race swapped Etta, made her black, and then made her a supermodel. I mean, she wasn't fat anymore. And it's like, you understand what the name was about. Well, that's fat shaming or something. I don't know. So then, now earlier on, I think they did a story where Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor weren't an item anymore, and that he actually married Etta. So, okay. Now, a lot of people think, hey, look, she was on that island with nothing but women. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, and I understand. And oh, yeah, no doubt some things happened. But always remember, when she first meets a man, she can't get off that island fast enough, which simply means Wonder Woman was only gay for this day. And she didn't stay. Yeah. Say this was sort of some of the elements of the new 52 design. It just didn't have any of the gold. I forget how they did the eagle symbol. I'm just making it up as I go along, but I know that they had these little, I don't know, lines. There was lines all over the suits in those designs. So, some of the latest designs had these white stripes, this little design here with yellow or gold or whatever. But I'll keep it white. But it's just my guesstimation that it might be a combination of the designs or the movies. I don't know if the Paradise Island series is supposed to be a setup. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously it would be set up for a Wonder Woman movie eventually. But on the other hand, it might not even happen. Despite just taking place on one island. If you're going to do a series on that, and it's involving the elements of Greek myth and all that sort of stuff, you're going to have to spend some money on that. Like you would probably, have the gods show up. Some of the mythological creatures of Greek myth would also appear. And it's a live action series, so it's not animated. So it's just a matter of where you want to put your money and all that. But if, Superman's a smash hit and all that stuff, then they might have a little extra cash laying around to mess around with some of this stuff. I mean, that's the idea. I remain somewhat dubious of its potential for success, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, now. Let's undo that. Hate it when I hit that stupid thing. But it happens. All right. And there. All right, that's something. See how that works. It's just great. Okay. Of course, in the comic books, like Superman, her hair has a blue sheen to it. Because signifying her hair color is jet black. Her hair is so black that when the sun hits it, it's blue. Oops, not that blue. If you get your hair that blue, then you got to gain 600 pounds sitting on the sofa eating bonbons and complaining about everything. And in the end, nothing. Yeah. Ah. Just when you think you got it, you don't. Okay. Whoops. All right. There we go. It's all going according to plan. Oh, yes. I meant for it to happen just as you witnessed. Because I'm a puppet. Yeah, I'm getting very tired. I'll have to go to sleep so that I can go to work tonight. In the business of cigarettes and beer. And potato chips. Yeah. that's terrible. There you go. No, damn it. Come on. There we go. Yay. 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 So, I don't know if they'll do more with Wonder Woman and some of her, villains. Hopefully they can do it. I mean, that's one of the big problems with that second film. What a terrible means by which of introducing Cheetah. Because, for Wonder Woman, Cheetah's kind of her Joker or Lex Luthor, and then it's just, I don't know. Not really blaming what Kristen Wiig, it's just a dumb story all around. And it's just she becomes Cheetah, and she's like one of the few characters who gets a second wish from the magic wish, which like they established she couldn't. I don't know. But anyway, it's got other characters, Dr. Psycho and Silver Swan. Cersei, I'm guessing, because they've already depicted her because of Creature Commandos, and which is the deal is if you're the voice actor of one of the characters in a cartoon, should there be a live action film or what have you with the same character, then that same actor will play the part. So I guess them's the deal. She'll play Cersei, who of course is the the ancient goddess from the Odyssey, where she wanted to bang Ulysses, and she didn't care for the rest of his crew, so she turned them all into pigs. But it was a tempting offer for Ulysses, because she was going to grant him immortality, but the price of immortality was amnesia. He wouldn't remember his past life. He was like, "Oh, I'd forget my wife and home and stuff." So he turned her down, and she never got over it. I don't know, but yeah, she was a villain for Wonder Woman, along with there was some. I think there was some that Medusa comes back, even though she died in her story, but and Ares, who was in the movie, and then there was the Angle Man, but and Giganta, the if you ever saw the Super Friends, the giant redheaded lady, yeah, that was Wonder Woman's enemy. Basically, she would just grow really big. I mean, in the Super Friends, they made it like she was Apache Chief's enemy, because Apache Chief could, grow giant, and says, "Oh, it made sense that his enemy would be the giant villain." And but Apache Chief was not from the comic books. He was created for the Super Friends show for the purposes of tokenism. that was the first wave of representation. Then it was criticized for being tokenism. So then, oh no, yeah, you shouldn't do it like that. And then all these years later, they do it again. You know, except instead of making original characters or anything like that, they just race swap white ones and to go out of their way to do it. You know, especially redheads apparently. It didn't really go over well. I don't know. I always had a fondness for the Super Friends and Samurai and Apache Chief and El Dorado. All he could do was he could make illusions and turn invisible. But, you know, it came in handy a time or two. So, yeah, it's something. What is it on that? Yeah, it's on that one. There we go. Wah, 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 wah. Well, there we go. It's Wonder Woman. I don't know if that's anywhere near any kind of design they'll do for the movie, but well, it's a design nonetheless, you know. Oh, jeez, I'm just exhausted. Hey Thompson, I loved the Chris Nolan. He didn't like Deadpool Cocteau. Holy smokes, 6:22 a.m. hero. Yeah, well, I have to stay up all night, so I was still up after I finished other work I was working on, and then thought, oh, before I got to go back to work, I should at least try another live stream. The last one I did was not to my liking. There was all kind of technical problems and stuff. Anyway, there you go. A version of Wonder Woman. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm very tired. So I guess I'll take off. Thanks for showing up and watching. I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get to do another one, perhaps Monday night. Yeah. Or, I don't know, depending on how I feel coming out of work, might do a quick one for in the morning about this time. Yeah. Well, not this time. I'd still be at work. An hour or two from now, like tomorrow. Something like that. No promises, of course. Anyway, there you go. And, I'll do something then too. Have a good rest of your day.
Where was she when I was young?